Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gaining Perspective with Cody Armstrong. I am your host, Cody Armstrong, and today's episode is not necessarily about a topic, but a statement. And that statement is from me and my own personal beliefs, and it is, I will not stand for hatred. And obviously, I mean, that's pretty obvious with everything that I kind of talk about on my day-to-day and in my podcasts and whatnot. But, you know, what prompted this comes from a video I just watched, posted up by one of my Facebook friends who is kind of like myself, sort of in between on like political stance. You know, I mean, obviously I lean more liberal, and I'm not sure where he stands, but he definitely, he just posts up sort of controversial stuff every now and again. This particular video comes from a Mr. Paul Joseph Watson, and he's a conservative Englishman. I don't know where he really hails from. I didn't look too much into him personally, as much as I just watched his video. And the video itself is Muslims react to gay Muslim marriage. And what he does is he's a conservative, and that's fine. There's nothing really wrong with that. But this is why, I can tell you right now, this is why I do not like conservative views. Because his video, and you can search it, again, Paul Joseph Watson. You can search this. Again, I don't know, I don't have a huge following, so it's not like he's ever going to really probably hear my thoughts on him personally and his party's views. But the reason why I am not okay with certain viewpoints like this is because he puts out an ultimatum in his video. He says, I'm not going to quote it, but he basically says something along the lines of, you can't have it both ways. You can't both be, and he's talking to liberals when he says this, you can't have it both ways, liberals. You can't both support Muslims and gays at the same time, or the gay community. And he cites this, the Muslims' reaction, and he says Muslims react. And here's the problem that I have with all this is, one, he posts up all these comments that are negative, and then he posts up all this other rhetoric. He posts up another Muslim making a speech toward what I would assume is another group of Muslims, or an audience of Muslims, or majority Muslims. Yeah. Muslim. But what I'm really saying is, I can't stand for his political stance on this, or really not even political stance, just a humanistic stance. He basically, again, he gives an ultimatum, and I think it's incorrect. The reason why is because I will always preach and advocate for love. And what I mean by that is love for your fellow human being, and especially love for yourself. Because what this does is this condemns an entire group of people. And this is actually a huge conservative stance. But do you also know, if anybody out there is conservative, you can hit me up and you can talk to me one-on-one about all this. But what I'm really getting at here is that it's funny that he's talking about Muslims' reaction to gay Muslim marriage. Because it's the exact same thing for Christians react to Christian gay marriage. They basically condemn it, like this Muslim, all these Muslim comments, the person who was speaking to all these Muslims out there. The only thing I didn't like about the person speaking to his audience in this video was, he says all Muslims feel this way, and that's problematic because a person is a person, and I guarantee you, within that crowd, there is someone of a more accepting heart in that crowd who is Muslim, who doesn't see homosexuality as wrong, or maybe not necessarily wrong enough to punish by death. But I can't tell you how much it irks me to have to say this. Like, I don't know why there's not. It's plain as day. It's a mirror image of Christianity. And here's the biggest problem of it all, is this only happens when there's religion. Now, I'm not full atheistic, solely because of the fact that that's also another extreme. But when it comes to, again, loving yourself and loving your fellow human being, um, I don't know how else to put it, but just let people live their life. Because if someone looks a certain way, if someone dresses a certain way, if someone acts a certain way, if someone believes in something, if someone's sexuality is what it is, I don't know how it affects you. Why would it ever affect you? Why? You're in your own skin. You literally are living your own life, and then you're basically taking some person, whoever came up with religion, whoever came up with the idea or the notion, which again, it was apparently sent to us from God, whatever God that may be. I'm not saying I don't believe in God. I say that if there is a God, my own personal stance on that is, if there is a God, it probably just creates and doesn't give a fuck about anything. If it's some sentient being, it really would just be a creator of the universes. And it would not have time enough to give a fuck about you. And why is that? Because we have consciousness, and because we haven't really met another consciousness like ours, which I'm sure will happen sometime in the future, long after I'm dead. I don't know. But what I can say is, I don't see why a god or a religious group has to dictate your individual life. It doesn't have to. It doesn't need to. You're your own person. You make your own choices. And at the end of the day, you're going to have your own feelings, and you're going to go home with your own feelings. And this doesn't matter where you are in the world. This planet, if you're alive, living on this planet, yeah, it sucks if you're living in a country that has, like, massive oppression or or is right in the middle of the war zone. Like, yeah, like, it does suck. And I do feel for those people, but I know that each person goes to sleep and dreams their own dreams. You are here for you. So, the reason why I don't like this Paul Joseph Watson, the reason why I don't enjoy watching his video. I watched it all the way through just to see if I was just like getting trigger happy with like how I felt about it. Because he literally starts off in the first 15 seconds saying, you can't have it both ways, liberals. And yes, I do lean more liberal, heavy as far as politics go, but I can safely say I cannot agree with this person. And it's not just because he's conservative, but it's because he's giving an ultimatum to me, another person on the internet who knows, like, if I wasn't even really in tune with this, I wouldn't even know how to react if I didn't know what was going on. But I keep myself politically savvy. I keep myself pretty world savvy as far as the news goes, and I understand what's going on in the world, and I understand there's a lot of controversy, and it is heavy, and it does suck. And this is not going to help. I can tell you right now, he doesn't speak for all conservatives, and I'm not going to ever be blind to the fact that liberals act the same exact way. Stop giving other people ultimatums. It's not your choice. It's not your... And as you can see, this affects me deeply, because if you live and let live, and you let people do what they want to do, and you advocate for love only, and what I mean by love only is like, love your fellow human. Not if they're, obviously if they're coming to attack you, defend yourself, but stop trying to attack somebody else based on who they love or what they love. In this case, who they love would be, a same-sex partner, and what they love is their religion. Stop doing it. Why? What is the need for this? Again, I'm getting real hot and heavy with this, and I'm really agitated, as you can tell. It's not obviously purposely done, but I'm just so sick and tired of this shit, man. How do you sit there and look at a person and not think of anything else other than the fact that they are a person? They're just a human being trying to live their fucking life. That's it. But we have to have all these obstacles set up in front of them just because of their skin color, because of their religion, because of their sexuality, because of their fucking race, their nationality, their hair color, eye color. Obviously, another one is the biggest, well, not the biggest one, but like another huge one is male or female. Like, stop with the bullshit, man. Why does it ever have to come to this? Why? I'm not saying anything that's profound. That's what's more frustrating about all of this. Stop with the bullshit. Why can't you look at another human being as if they are just another human being? If you listen to people who are fearful of another person because they look different or because they believe in something different, then you don't even know yourself. If you're going to listen to somebody who's fear-mongering toward you and you're going to believe it, and then you're going to repeat or regurgitate that, learn to love yourself. That's what you're telling me right now. And that's what Mr. Paul Joseph Watson, that's what he's telling me. That he doesn't know how to love himself. And I'm sickened by the fact that, like, this shit gets spread around all the time. And yeah, he has, like, he does his quick little, he edits his videos very well, or he has somebody edit them very well, and they're quick and they're easy and they're, they're digestible, and all at the end of the day, what is his message? You can't have it both ways. Choose. The Conservative Party is completely against gay marriage also. So where the fuck does that come from? And again, this all hinders on religion. I mean, the world would be a real fucking easy place without religion, but also, people need something to believe in to get them going throughout their day. I just don't need that. I personally don't need, a God or anything to pray to or anything. I just know that in my heart, love has been the biggest constant. If you love a person, which is easy to do, it's easy to love a person. It really is. But you know what's not easy? Loving yourself. Why? Because you have to look at yourself. Because you have to really see what you don't like about yourself. And then still accept yourself for those things. So, I don't know. I'm just going to leave you guys with the simple fact that, like, I know that I don't have much of an audience. And I know that I come across as, like, hot and heavy sometimes on really, dumb topics. But this one is not dumb. This one's very, yeah, I'm in your face about this. And yeah, if you don't like what I'm saying, and you can talk shit behind my back all day, I'd rather you just bring it to me. Not so we could argue, but so I can ask, I can ask you why you don't agree, and I can also let you ask me why you don't agree with what I'm talking about. It always comes down to the simple fact that people are who they are, and they're going to be who they are for the rest of time. And change does not happen by making ultimatums. You can be a Muslim and you can be gay too. It's this crazy notion of, I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to follow the Quran, and I'm going to marry the same sex. All while knowing that if I do this in my home country, I'm probably going to be stoned to death. Why? Because love matters. That's what that tells me. That's love in the face of adversity to its truest form. And it's the same thing for gay marriage with Christians. Just because we live in America doesn't mean people aren't any less ignorant. People are probably far more ignorant. But this ignorance is throughout the world. And it doesn't matter what face you want to put on it. Allah, Jesus Christ, doesn't matter. You're preaching unacceptance and you're preaching hatred. And all of that tells me, again, you need to learn to love yourself. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you listening or watching. If you like what I'm saying, go ahead and like. If you want to share it, share it. Do whatever you will with this. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.